For those of you that don't know, I'm Maggie, and today we have a gift guide for the guys. I'm really excited to film this for several reasons, and one of those reasons is that you all gave me the idea. And I'm kind of bummed about that because I wish that I would have come up with it first, because I have to gift to so many guys in my life every single year. But secondly, a lot of the ideas that I'm going to present in this video were a collaboration with a lot of those guys that I have to gift to every year. So Brian and I sat down and I was just going to formulate one big long list. And then he was like, no, having a lot of fun with it, helping me organize it into different categories. And so he really helped shape this video into what it's become. And then my older brother also got really into it when I was kind of sending him the list and telling him to make edits. And he was like, you have to include this thing. I always love it. Or, ooh, this would be really good in this category. Know that this was a big group effort and that you have a lot of input from a lot of guys in my life. That this is gonna be a two-part video. I think that way things can be a little bit more clear and concise. So let's dive right into the first 5 categories. So the first category that I want to start with is the tech lover. Now this arguably is the most expensive category, so let's go ahead and just get it out of the way. And the first product on that list happens to be an item that I also really love, and that's a pair of really good noise canceling headphones. Now you don't have to get this white variety. Brian actually got me this for Christmas a couple years back, but my older brother has the exact same in black, and Brian has the exact same pair in a silver. This is something that we all really love to use on planes. These do such a good job of canceling out the noise and providing really high quality sound. Another cool feature about these headphones is that they don't always just have to be Bluetooth headphones. If you're traveling on a long trip, it comes with this little cord that you can actually plug into seat back monitors. But this one is a definite must. It is something that if they do not have a good pair of quality headphones and you're willing to fork out the cash for it, this is such a great gift. If maybe your budget isn't that large and you still want to give them a great useful pair of headphones, AirPods. I really have also talked these things to death, but these are so handy, especially for somebody that works a lot and they're on the phone for their job a lot. They're so easy to put in and take out. They hold their charge for a really long time. They actually do stay in your ears. I just think that this is a good practical pair of headphones that they could use on the plane and at work. I don't feel completely comfortable using those big over-the-ear noise canceling headphones at work. This could be a really good hybrid usage. Just know that these are not noise canceling by any means, and if you do talk on the phone, they do tend to pick up a lot of the sound around you. Another headphone option, or earphone option rather, are the Power Beats. Brian recently splurged and bought himself a pair of these Power Beats. He wanted me to let you all know that this is really good if you like to listen to music while working out. He's had 2 other pair of the Beats that are like the Bluetooth that have one wire that kind of wraps around the back of your head, and he said that these were even better. It allowed for a lot more mobility. They really don't run the risk of falling out of your ears at all because it actually goes over your ear, and they are a little bit more expensive than the AirPods, but they are for more active usage. So if you have somebody that likes to go to the gym and work out, lift weights and stuff, and wants to listen to music doing that, then that is the type of headphone that you would want to go with over the AirPods. So next up for the tech lover is some sort of portable speaker. Now I have the Bose Mini SoundLink, but this is so hard to find these days. I feel like this is either discontinued or maybe it looks completely different now. I'm not quite sure, but the one that Brian really wanted me to recommend to you all was the one that he has that I gave him for Christmas last year, so pat on the back, is the UE Boom Mini speaker. It is this tiny little speaker that's waterproof. He travels with that thing everywhere. If he's going on a trip with his friends and he knows they're gonna do a lot of outdoor activities, or if they're gonna be grilling or cooking or something, he always has that speaker ready to go. He also likes to listen to music when he showers, and so he doesn't have to worry about the steam from the shower affecting the speaker in any way because it is completely waterproof. Another great gift is an Apple TV or something like it. Now I can speak specifically to the Apple TV because that's what Brian has, and he has really loved it. For a long time he was just using like an Amazon Fire Stick or something, and then he subscribed to YouTube TV and he needed some platform that allowed him to use YouTube TV on his actual TV, and that was the best option. I also went with a 32GB one just in case you were looking into it. It's the least expensive, and I also know him and his habits, and he's not going to buy a whole lot of movies to download and keep on the device. He's not downloading TV shows. There wasn't really a need to have a whole lot of storage on it. You'll have to buy according to the person that you're giving it to, but that's just a little tip from me. And last but not least is a more budget-friendly option for the tech lover, and that is this TileMate key finder. This is too funny because he actually gave this to me for Christmas, and I have used this a million times. Now what's really cool about it is that it Bluetooths to your phone. So if you ever lose your keys, you can just open the Tile app on your phone and you can click find keys and it'll play some music and then it allows you to find it in whatever crazy place you left it last. But what's really nice about this too is that it works the opposite way. So maybe you have your keys for once and you can't find your phone that time. You can double click this and then it will play a little ditty on your phone to help you find your phone. For $25, this is super useful, especially if you know somebody extremely forgetful in your life. The next category is a gift guide for the commuter. This one was really fun for me because it kind of made me get creative. I'm not somebody that really has to commute that far for work, but I did get some advice from my friends that live in New York. They kind of let me know which products would be really good because I know a lot of you don't live the same lifestyle as me. So I wanted to be sure that I was including a category for lots of people, not just people like me. Okay, so the first gift is a really nice backpack. I think that backpacks are a lot easier to take to work rather than some type of like shoulder bag or saddle bag. This is just so much easier to walk long distances with. It evens out the weight on your back. And I show this one specifically because there was one point where my family, like every single person had a North Face backpack. Me and my brothers were in school, so we had one. And then my dad was like, I really like those. I feel like that would be a lot more functional than my briefcase. So my dad switched over to a backpack many years ago. And these North Face ones with the additional bungee cords are approved by him. Now I've linked my dad's specific North Face backpack, I think it's the Borealis, in the description box below. This one happens to be the Slingshot if you like this style. But the reason that he really likes this is that it has so many different compartments for a lot of different things. It has great organization inside, lots of different pockets, a place to store your computer. His backpack can hold a lot more than a briefcase can, so he can also use it as a carry-on on a plane. So many reasons why a backpack is more handy in my opinion. So if your commuter is looking for a better, more functional bag, I highly recommend those North Face backpacks. Next up is some sort of power bank. Now this is one that I just popped out of my away luggage, which is just another reason why that luggage is so wonderful, is because you can pop this out and take it with you all the time, and it also holds a charge for a really long time. But the reason I'm recommending this is because for people with long commutes, oftentimes you're using some sort of device. You may be listening to a podcast, watching a TV show if you're on the subway or something, and you might want to have a charger on hand just in case your battery's running a little low, just so that you're not left without anything to do. Brian never ever travels without his. He loves the away one because it's really, really thin. My older brother has said the same thing, but he also has a bigger one that holds a charge for a little bit longer that he always travels with. But I have a bone to pick with that one because I think it's too large and very heavy. So I've also linked a much lighter version that's very similar to the away battery without you actually having to purchase away luggage. Another idea is not a physical item that I can show you, and that's an Audible subscription. So like I mentioned, people like to use their headphones and listen to podcasts, but what if somebody in your life is really into books? And they would really love an Audible subscription so that they can kind of read books while they're on the move all the time. So a subscription to Audible could be something that just keeps on giving. You could give them a year-long subscription, a 6-month subscription, a 3-month subscription. That's another reason why I really love recommending these types of gifts, because you can customize them for your price range. You know? Along those same lines is a subscription to Spotify. Spotify also integrates podcasts, so not only do you get basically your pick of every song in the entire world to listen to, the ability to create custom playlists, it also creates a lot of smart playlists for you and introduces you to a lot of new music. Spotify is something I actually cannot live without, and now that they have podcasts integrated with it, it would be such a good gift. Now, one thing that's a little bit tricky about Spotify is that you have to give them a gift card. So it's not actually paying for a specific number of months. You would just be giving them a certain amount of money to put toward a Spotify subscription, which is kind of weird, but at least you could hand them a physical gift card, which is kind of cool. Sunglasses. If they eventually get off the subway and they have to walk a couple of blocks to their office, or maybe their entire commute is taken by foot, having a great pair of sunglasses is something that I think is a necessity. Brian recently got the coolest looking ones from Warby Parker, and I'll be sure to link those exact ones below. I believe it's in the style Haskell, and he has the kind of clearish green see-through frames. What I really love about these sunglasses and the color that he picked specifically is that they're so unique, but they're not crazy. So even if you're gifting to somebody who's not traditionally the most adventurous in their eyewear or their clothes or something, they're not gonna feel foolish wearing them because they're seriously not crazy. They look so good. And the last product I want to recommend for a commuter is one that I really hesitated even including, and that is a water bottle. And the reason I hesitated is because I've been given 100 free water bottles in my lifetime, and so I rarely go out and purchase a new one. But Brian was like, no, it's really important when you're commuting to have some sort of good water bottle. If you wanted to keep your drinks hot for the whole time you're on your commute, that could be really important to someone. Or if you want to just be sure that it keeps your water cold all day long, that could just be a really good thing because people are usually commuting for long periods of time. So I was like, okay, you're right. It's a good idea. I have friends that absolutely love their hydro flask. In fact, that's the one that I feel like is the most popular right now. But I know that Corksicle and Yeti all make really awesome versions of these insulated mugs, cups, water bottles. You really can't go wrong. So I think that that's a great one. And you can kind of customize the size to fit your budget. Again, you don't have to get the biggest size. That's the most expensive. You could go for a smaller version and still accomplish the same thing. Okay, the next category is for the guy who wants to clean up. And we had a hard time naming this one because it sounds kind of mean. These are basically like toiletries and things of that nature. So the first thing that I wanted to mention was Brian's Dopp Kit, and this is from the brand Herschel. I actually gifted this to my little brother and my older brother, so they all three have this. And it's just a very simple Dopp Kit. There's nothing really to it. It's lined and it kind of has a cute interior. It fits a ton. He's traveled with this a ton and it's still in great shape. My brother has a black one. They also have printed ones, so you can kind of pick one that fits the personality of whoever you're giving it to. Now next up, some of you are gonna roll your eyes, but I'm gonna recommend this Bulldog Skincare. I actually got this in a set that I gave to Brian I think a couple years ago. He probably should not still be using this because I know he hasn't bought more. It's been a slow and steady process to get him to integrate like moisturizers and cleansers and stuff into his normal everyday routine. But I think on the whole he has enjoyed having these things, and he is definitely a regular user of cleanser now. So this Bulldog line, it smells really manly. This is sold at Target and it comes, I know that the kit that I got him came with a moisturizer, a cleanser, and I think a facial scrub. And so if you really want to introduce them to something like this, I think that this is a good, inexpensive line to start with, because if they don't end up using it, at least you didn't spend too much money on it. Like, I also want to mention his face scrubber from the brand Bowie. This is something that's good, and it kind of provides a little bit of physical exfoliation on top of whatever else is in your cleanser. And we also both have the kind of silicone loofah from this brand. And it's something that can be recycled. It's a little bit better for the environment, and it's just a cool body care item that you could gift them with maybe the cleansers or a body wash or something like that. And along that same vein, Brian really wanted me to mention his Method body wash. This is one that he's bought like several bottles of. You can buy it at Target, and I think it costs like $6.99 or $7.99. So I think overall for this category, if you were to gift these things, I would gift everything in one bundle. You could get them a Dopp Kit and you could fill it with the moisturizer, the cleanser, and the scrub from that Bulldog set. You could throw in the little face scrubby and the body scrubby from Bowie, and then you could also give them some body wash, and then that would be one complete kind of care kit gift. So again, you can kind of make these different categories fit any budget that you have. Make it one big massive gift, break it into a bunch of different little gifts, whatever price point works best for you. Okay, the next category is gifts for the homebody, and this is one that I think are Tyler and Brian's both top favorite categories because I feel like both of them are homebodies. And Tyler's first suggestion was to gift somebody some sort of streaming service, and he actually did this for me several years ago, and I absolutely loved that gift. Gift this in a variety of ways. I mean, there's Netflix, there's the new Disney Plus streaming service, there's Hulu, and again, you can kind of customize the length of the subscription that you want to gift. But while they're lying on the couch watching whatever you gifted them from a streaming service perspective, they probably want to do so in some really comfy clothes. I have several recommendations. If it's for the winter, Brian absolutely loves these joggers from Nike. He has them in this hunter green color and in a blue, and I also believe in a black. He really likes them, but they are kind of pricey. So I think that I would wait and look for a sale on Nike before you actually buy these, but also sign up for Rakuten. I've mentioned this a million times before. It's a site that gives you cash back on purchases, and Nike is always a store with a really top cash back. Now, the thing about these joggers is that they're very slim fitting. Some other joggers that I want to recommend to you that I don't have here with me to show you are joggers that I gave to my little brother last year that he has completely worn out. I mean, I think that he wore them every single day after he opened them on Christmas Day. And they came from Peak Velocity, which is Amazon's brand of kind of nicer activewear. These items can sometimes be a little pricey, but I ended up snagging one of their daily deals and got the joggers and a matching kind of zip up hoodie like sweatshirt thing for a pretty decent price. But that brand has really high quality stuff. Thomas has actually asked for just a bigger size this year now that he's grown like 2 feet. So he absolutely loves those. Wanted me to mention those for you as well, just in case you don't want to spend the money on a Nike or a Lululemon pair of the same kind of loungewear. But also, if you're watching the streaming service and you're super comfy clothes, you probably need some type of device to stream it on. I previously mentioned the Apple TV, but I also wanted to touch on some cheaper streaming devices. One of those happens to be an Amazon Fire Stick, which my roommate and I use, and we've had pretty good luck with it. We think it needs to be updated, so sometimes we have some trouble playing things here and there, but on the whole, we've really enjoyed using a Fire Stick. It typically retails around the $30 range. Another good option is a Chromecast. We actually have both plugged into our TV at all times. That way, if we want to show somebody a video or something on our phones, we can immediately cast it to our TV and watch it that way. They also make a Roku stick, which I've never used. There are a bunch of different things out there, but the idea is just to get a less expensive streaming option. Some more ideas in the lounging homebody section is also just a good pair of pajama pants. Brian said this is something that he feels like people need to invest in. You don't want to get flannel, he says that makes you sweat, and you don't want to get the super duper cheap ones that are kind of like scratchy cotton. He recommends this pair from Ralph Lauren that he's had for like 5 years. He had them, well, really more than 5 years, because he said he had them all through college, and now we've been out of college for like 5 years. So they've lasted him a good long while, and they come from Ralph Lauren. They are a little bit pricey, but he said that they're completely worth it. Okay, and the last item for the homebody is a good pillow. And this may seem kind of weird. I thought so too until I actually invested and bought myself a really good pillow that I absolutely love sleeping on. And that came from the brand Casper. Now this is for somebody who actually likes kind of a squishy pillow. But what's awesome about it is that it doesn't squish all the way down and get completely flat like a regular down pillow. It has 2 sections to it. So there's basically like an inner fluffy layer and then a thinner, like more down-like feeling outer layer. So it can never squish completely flat. It is so good. If you know somebody that likes a fluffier pillow or a thicker pillow, this is not for them. But if somebody likes kind of a squishy cloud-like pillow, I cannot recommend this pillow enough. Okay, and the last category for this part 1 video is gifts for the sophisticated sipper. So this category is for that guy in your life that really loves a good cocktail or is just very interested in that kind of realm of things. So the first thing that I wanted to mention is a really pretty decanter. The very first thing, no lie, that Brian bought for his apartment was a bar cart. And so on it, he wanted to have a nice decanter so that he could actually pour his alcohol into it and just get rid of the bottles that are all mismatched. And then he also has some matching glasses. So his decanter comes from Crate & Barrel, and they have the most affordable barware. His decanter is from the Hatch line. It was $35 and it really is beautiful. It has kind of a vintage feel. And we actually registered for a second one of these on our wedding registry because I wanted one that kind of matched it, that would look good on the bar cart, that I could pour my gin or other kind of like lighter liquors that I prefer in, so that we could have everything displayed together. So that's a really great starting point, along with the matching glasses. Now again, you can customize this according to the price range that you have available. So if you just wanted to get them 2 glasses or maybe a set of 4 glasses to go along with that decanter, that would be a super generous gift. And get this, those glasses from Crate & Barrel in the same Hatch line are only $4.95 a piece. I cannot get over how good their prices are, and it's really good quality stuff too. The glasses feel very weighty, and again, we registered for an additional 4 of these so that we can have a complete set of 8 for when we're entertaining or when we have people over and we want to make cocktails for the group. Another thing that Brian loves and that he always uses is he really likes to use those spherical ice molds. They make these really big round ice cubes. You just place one in your glass and it keeps your drink cold and it slowly melts. It kind of like evenly melts, I think is what they say, to where it optimizes your sipping experience. I don't know. This is kind of one of those additional accessories if the person that you're trying to gift already has every other bar accessory in the world. So if you're getting the decanter and the glasses and maybe even the ice molds, it could be really nice to throw in a bottle of their favorite alcohol, whatever it may be. Alcohol is pretty expensive, especially the bigger bottles. So if you're really at a loss as to what to get them and they're somebody that really enjoys a good cocktail, think creatively. Maybe do some research about some different types of whiskey or some more expensive whiskey than they would typically buy, or tequila or whatever it is that they drink, and gift that to them. It's something that you could enjoy together. It's something that they could figure out how to make new cocktails with. It's more of an experience gift. But it's also, again, a really good companion if you wanted to get them a whole themed like set of gifts to make up one really big gift. But I do want to mention 2 more rather inexpensive gift ideas in this same category of the sophisticated sipper. And one of those is a cocktail book that has to do with what they're interested in. It's called The Field Guide to Whiskey, and he bought this for himself to use as kind of like a coffee table book. He can display it on his bar cart, but the kid actually read this whole thing cover to cover. Another book that I want really badly, I'm gonna have to add it to my Christmas list, is a cocktail book that our friends Ashley and Jordan introduced us to. So this is what I'm calling a Jordan approved cocktail book. It's called Around the World in 80 Cocktails, and it has different cocktails that originated in a bunch of different countries across the world, which I think is so cool. When we travel, we really like to eat well and drink well and just taste things that aren't what we have every single day. And so that's a really good way for you to kind of experience the world from the comfort of your home with a really great cocktail. So that is something that I'm definitely adding to my own Christmas list. And that is it for part 1. If you're interested in some more categories and you just still haven't found the category that quite fits the person that you want to gift to this holiday season, then stick around for part 2. It'll be up soon. But if you like this video, then like it, stick around, subscribe, join the community, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!